Welcome to another special edition of the HolisticRadioshow.com. What we're working on today is an update of the Tesla energy lights with our good friend Aeron Goldheart. Aeron, welcome.
Thank you, Colin. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
What we're working on here is an update from our first video that we did exploring subtle energies with the Tesla energy lights. It turns out that the Russians have been studying subtle energies for over 50 years. And for over 25, they have this wonderful, I'm going to call it the little gray box with a red button because that's what it looks like to me. But it's a very interesting little machine. It's called a GDV, and sometime we'll get into what that actually is involving. And we're going to show you how it works here in just a little bit of time. But if I show you this book that's written by Dr. Karatakov, you can see some of the energy pictures that the machine develops. And we're going to show you these here in just a few minutes. One of the most interesting thing about this is that people are actually studying how subtle energy works in the parasympathetic systems and the sympathetic nervous systems of our body, and we're learning by leaps and bounds. We have wonderful pictures already that some of you may have seen of water crystals that are charged with thought energy. And they're coming out of Japan. They're very beautiful. In fact, the Blue Danube is one of the most beautiful water crystal available pictures. They look like little snowflakes. I'm sure you've seen them. If you haven't, Google them sometime because it's a very interesting subject. But I was exposed to those several years ago, and I never really thought how thought energy can influence a picture. So one of the things that I have found when in the last video, when we did the Tesla Energy Light video interview, was just laying there and feeling the wonderful sensations. And I felt so much different and so much better, but it was hard to articulate what that was, but I could feel it. But you know how it is. You see a good movie and you go home and you're all charged up, and then you meet a few other people that didn't see the movie, and the whole experience just kind of goes away, and you go on with your daily life and you forget about it. Well, how does that help us when we need to heal? One of the most interesting things that I have found is that our minds have a great deal about what healing is. We have another gentleman, Dr. Claude Swanson, PhD, wrote this great book called The Synchronized Universe. Dr. Claude Swanson exploring and understanding why people can heal at a distance. The Russians have discovered that there is this energy field around us called the torsion field. That's what they call it, where basically it exists without time and without space. And so any of us that have practiced meditation for any length of time know you can tune into another person. You can astral travel in meditation. You can see what they're doing. You have remote viewers that the military uses. All this stuff is known today. And well, what is this all about? Well, what this is all about is this little gray box over there where you can actually see it. And you can actually measure the difference that these lights have on us. Now, why is that important? Well, in my opinion, the way that the torsion field works and the way that healing works is by intention. And studying Qigong with Master Chun Lin and learning how to do distance healing with people that I've been working with for about 30 years, I never really cared why it worked. I just knew inside me that I could feel a difference. And watching cell salts work with other people, you can actually see their energy patterns change. But that doesn't mean that the other person can tell. So, like I had this great experience with these Tesla energy lights because I could feel it. Now, with this little device here, this GDV machine, we can actually detect what is changing. And it's not so much significant that what the changes mean in terms of, is one of my glandular systems higher or lower than another. But the important thing is that I can see a change, and it is changing. So, Aeron, why don't we take a look at this device, and then let's do some testing.
Colin, what I want you to do is to take your thumb first, put it in, and you're going to put each finger in thereafter, and I'm going to be recording. So when you see the picture up here, just go to the next finger. Okay, perfect. Great. Okay, so we have now a complete complement of fingers. So what you're seeing from your fingerprints, the first thing is a dissection of your meridian points that the program depicts, so it represents a specific energy flow or circuitry to a specific organ. So we can see where you have higher or lower amounts of energy, both parasympathetically and sympathetically. What we're looking at is a representation of the full body chart where there are dropouts in the spike size, and the spike volume. And we have a difference between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. We're showing 12,000 at 65% symmetry and 23,000 at 92% symmetry. So you're looking like you could use a boost.
Well, that was really interesting. I do feel like I could use an energy drink. So I'm looking forward to drinking in the experience again of the beautiful colored lights. I understand you have a new colored light too. She'll have to show me that.
Yes, it's a DL pink tube for the purpose of quieting the mind and opening the heart. The heart is a very special place. It's very sensitive to frequencies. And these are the tubes, the pink tubes, which is a special color that we don't have in our other tubes. And they have multiple gases that are unique. It's custom made. It's really not available anywhere else. We supply them to our users who buy the Tesla Energy Lights. It's an option, and we're very proud of it.
Very soft.
Can I turn the lights on?
Sure. I really like the feel of being in the lights. It's like lights just dancing all through you, and you can see them and feel them and taste them and touch them. And the taste for me is very subtle, but actually I could feel it working on my teeth. That was interesting.
I'm going to let you taste your water now that it's been restructured. And let's see if you can tell a difference
okay.
in its behavior.
Okay. It's quite a bit, yeah, definitely a different taste. In fact, I was noticing before that I didn't really like the taste of this water. I have a new one that I'm working with that I really like. And now this is pretty good. I feel like it has more structure. That's interesting. But at the same time, it's soft.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So, Colin, how much of your body is made out of water?
Lots. And I got lots of water.
80, 90%, something like that?
Probably, yeah. I think it's 72% water or something. I don't know what it actually is, but it's a lot of water. So I'm glad that it has structure and soft.
Now you know what you're like inside. That's good. And your last finger. Okay.
Do that one again. That looks pretty good, though.
No, that looks good.
It's all right. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to say we're done. We're going to go next, which shows us the breakup of the meridians. And then, let's see what the chart looks like. Okay, so what we see here is a shift. The green is the shift from after the session. Here's the green over here. So this is your right side and your left side. So what we're going to look for is what did it do? And we're going to see that what happened was you moved from 12,000 to 14,000, 65% symmetry to 70. So you can see that these areas are starting to fill in. Okay? So basically it's a redistribution of energy which enables us to recognize that in your case you're coming up in energy. And it went from 92% to 94, which is better balance. Mm-hmm. And it's at 25,000. So you're edging up, and literally we just did your session a few minutes ago, so it's kind of like a horse race. You come out of the gate, it's your first picture, but the race isn't over. As you repeatedly would use the lights, it's going to continue to center, which is why the calmness and the serenity is so valuable.
So being able to deeply relax is, I think that's the point today of all kinds of meditations and yogas and therapies and drugs and everything else, just to turn off that stupid mind so that we can relax a little bit. With this, I'm not sure I want to talk. This is nice. Feels good.
So there's not anyone that's excluded because we have the up on the energy. It's just like water and air. We all breathe it, we all drink it, so we're all made up of a counterpart internally called life force, and that life force is in all the plants and the animals. So if you're here, you're part of that, and if you're not here, well then it doesn't make any difference. So the whole concept is if we give you more of that subtle energy of life force, what are you going to do with it? And how are you going to manage it? Because now you can distinctively decide, I want it, I can turn it on demand, I'm not at the beck and call of somebody else's whimsicals or decisions, they're on me. And what we want is our freedom. So how do we express our freedom? Make choices. So when we have the energy to make a choice, then we actually can follow through and do it, and not just say, I want it. That, to me, is empowerment. And that's what we're really offering. That's the bottom line. All the rhetoric of testing and data satisfies the mind and says, it's real. But the true deciding factor is you.
Since I just came out of a session, I really didn't want to come out. I just wanted to stay in it. In that beautiful, feels like just being in a pillow of light, just gorgeous energy. But let's take a look at what happens to the water. Here's a before and after picture of the energy volume, I guess you could call it that, based on what we were looking at earlier with the computer diagrams. So you can see the before and after effect of the water itself. Well, I can tell you the taste of the water sure is more to my liking afterwards. We've had some of the interviews on the radio show of folks who work with the dark field microscope. And here's a picture of clump blood. And can you imagine all that trying to get through your capillaries that are almost microscopic to get through? But I have something very interesting to show you. Let's take a look at somebody's blood who actually stays in front of the lights a lot. This surprised everybody. This is almost unseen in dark field microscopy. You can see that they're full, got plenty of life in them. I don't know what to say, mostly because I'm just really enjoying this floaty state, Aeron, but this is quite amazing to be able to have my conscious mind, which in the beginning really did want to know what was going on. But, I got to tell you, I really don't care right now because it feels so darn good. I just want to stay in this great state. But I know that later on, again, I'm going to be curious and really appreciate our time here this morning. Aeron, could you elaborate, please, a little more information on what these torsion fields are that they're calling them?
I'm glad you asked about the torsion field because that's something that is almost mystical. What matters is that it pierces the veil of time and space. That's what Dr. Swanson's studies have been about. And to give you an example, what you have here is his depiction of a holographic process where biophotonic elements restructure and create this torsion field through the DNA. Dr. Swanson, the good physicist that he is, asked us to conduct a study to show the torsion field and subtle energy after the lights have been turned off, meaning that if we put unstructured or distilled water in several vials and we place them in the lights area after they were turned off for 15 minutes, and the net result when we measured it on the GDV, both before and after, was a bump of about 20%. And this was repeatable with the several vials. So I'm taking information that we've been given and applying it. And so what we do is we discover these things, such as the expression that you're sharing from your experience. We put it together with data. We put it together with the subjective experience. And over a collection of a number of people over a span of time, we realize there really is something to this. In the moment, if you just do one session, it may or may not have a profound effect. A lot of the time it does, but sometimes it doesn't. So why is it different? It's different because we're different. Our histories are different. Our lineages are different. Our chemistries are different. So what we're looking for is shifts and common denominators. And there just aren't many devices that we've seen that allow you to interact. Usually they're passive. They're things that they do you, and you just sit there and let it do it. Well, this is a lot different. This allows you to interact with a part that's to be discovered. People that buy the lights, the Tesla Energy lights, the two lights, it's a complete system, AC and DC. They're in between it and they're like radiating this magical, wonderful energy. But when they use their intention, we are providing a vehicle to help you get there. That's all it is. It's just a battery charger. It's not magic. It's not voodoo. It's just simply access to something that isn't common with balanced energy. So that's it.
Thank you, Aeron. It's been a wonderful, enlightening time with you here today. Thank you so much. And I'm slowly starting to drift back down in where I can consider driving again. But it's so nice being in that energy. So if you'd like to be in the energy, if you'd like to see more, you can go to teslaenergylights.com. So I do invite you to come and check one out. There's many people in the planet today that have these available for a 10-15 minute session. And Aeron is here in Dallas periodically, and he'll let you know any other schedules that he's on. So thank you very much, and we wish you the best of days.